The Powerstage really is a true test of bike and rider. Who can make it, who cannot? In many ways, it really is a show of strength, both technically, physically, and mechanically. Now, to join us on this Powerstage today is event director Enrico Guala. Enrico, this is quite a prospect. I mean, we're looking at things such as rider physicality, technicality in terms of line choice. We've also got that whole business about the motor, you know, overrun and software and things like that. It's quite a jigsaw puzzle for the rider to put together, isn't it?
Dropper post position, body position, tire pressure. You keep adding elements that can make success or failure, because especially in power stages, the right proportion and how you play with all the elements, it's like having a Formula One, steering wheel. You can work on a lot of aspects to make it through.
I think this really is the Formula One of e-mountain bike, and it's a critical part of what e-mountain bike is all about. Some interesting side stories to this Powerstage today. Obviously, last year, the previous years, we saw that Bosch was super powerful on the stages. If you didn't have a Bosch motor, you were nowhere. But then last year, you had Ryan Gilchrist came back with Shimano. The Shimano team are here. I'm sure they'll be on this hill here somewhere, folks. So we've got, an added layer, which is Bosch versus Shimano. I mean, there are other brands in there, but there's less of them. You've got Polini, you've got Yamaha, but it seems those are going to be the two main players. And then even within that, you've got the Orbea team. You've got Flo Espanero, who was the champion last year. She's on a Bosch. But then within the male category, you've got Edgar Caballo, who's on the Orbea Wild on a Bosch motor. And then Damien Oton is on a prototype Shimano motor. And he's going to be powerful as well, isn't he?
And he knows very well the terrain, and Oton won already here years ago. I think the competition within motors has been a bit more leveled. I think it's going to be all about line choice, and rider more than anything else.
Do you think what percentage of the riders do you think will actually make the whole climb clean?
I think all clean, no, that's 50%.
You think 50?
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Right, Enrico, this is where it all begins. We're in paradise, but also this is going to be pretty painful for a lot of people. How long are we looking for this climb?
A minute and so.
Yeah, really, really physical.
Physical gets steeper, harder at the bottom.
All right, let's walk in the track, guys. So, Enrico, I think, riders are going to be looking for the smoothest line, the kind of path of least resistance, if you want, right?
Which sometimes is not the most evident one, like connecting a ridge of rocks could actually be the fastest line because you're not going into the holes and you keep momentum.
I'm already looking here. There's you take an inside line, you take the outside line, which might be slower, but it's smoother. It's a real jigsaw puzzle, isn't it? Now we've just come around the corner. We're literally 50 meters in and it just kicks from that to that. I think I've heard you use the word before, Madonna. That is insane, right?
That is, when you look at it from a non-E perspective, it's like impossible.
Yeah.
But then you look someone on an e-bike and it just pump, pump, pump.
It's the kind of thing you'd expect on the top of a 4,000 meter peak, isn't it? And it really is extreme. This is interesting because we've got quite a severe step here, but then the rider gets over the crest and the front wheel might go instantly straight into this bit. So there's a big potential for stalling here, isn't there?
That's double lift of the bike. That's a trial move. You want to have momentum and leverage both wheels, lift up both wheels when you're in this situation.
Yeah. Then we have another issue here, Enrico, which is traction. Really loose conditions here. So, you've got to keep your body in the center of the bike, maintaining traction. You don't want your front wheel to go in the air. Got an interesting spectator here, Chris Ball, the boss man. Can be a good one, isn't it?
Yeah, great.
Let's go.
Not a few words.
Well, Enrico, the crowds are gathering. This is what it's all about, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is indeed.
Can you imagine being a rider with the crowds just barking at you just inches away, right?
That's
terrifying.
That's actually a factor. We used to live that back in the trial days. The psychological pressure from the crowd, it's an added obstacle to your climbing.
And this is what you don't get in downhill races is amazing, but people pass in a fraction of a second. Here you're going to be climbing at maybe 3-5 miles an hour, and the crowds are just there. Here we've got Shimano R&D, Sahana, 2 Shimano riders in the top 3 at the minute.
Oh, nice.
I thought you'd be happy.
Yeah.
Enrico, we've got a bit of a break for the riders here. They can gather themselves, and then all of a sudden, we've got this ahead. I think it actually looks more difficult because the tapes are in tight.
They are, and basically, Francesco, race director, he basically closed the easy line. So we've been progressing the sport on this stage, and also by taping and course design, you can actually put them in more or less troubles. And I think this is going to be a key point.
Just going to drop this in. I have cleaned this. Just saying. Apparently, Enrico has too.
I did indeed. Many tries up here to clean it, to clear it.
Kind of went off.
Nice one.
Went offline, but that's pretty cool effort, isn't it? That's just the start. Rider weight comes into it. He flew up there, didn't he?
Nick Wallner on the go. Let's look at the line.
Nice.
There we go, second position in the race. Smooth. What happened here, he just hit the rock with the front. He didn't expect that, and everything went to.
So I think in terms there was a technique there. So he was trying to carry momentum into this stage, but then some riders are changing gear here and they're using the torque of the motor. So we're already seeing 2 different techniques as well. Nice. It feels like some of these riders are rushing it. They should I think maybe when it comes to the top 10, they'll be a bit more kind of calculated and not so frantic, I think. Did lose a bit of time there, didn't he? I think he just got offline there. He tried to hang it to the right-hand side.
Straight line, wow!
So that's interesting. So in the tests I've done on e-mountain bikes, the Rocky Mountain motor is by far the most powerful motor. But as it showed there, if you haven't got the line choice, the technique, he's the first gas rider.
He's already here.
As you can see there, if you haven't got the line choice right and the technique, sometimes motor power counts for nothing, right?
100%. Ale Robin!
So we just had some banter on the side of the track. We've got Sven Martin up here, World Cup photographer, said he'll power stage me any day of the week. You heard that, right?
I heard that.
We heard that. Everybody heard that, Sven?
I'm riding a Shimano motor. I want to ride one of their bikes.
Okay. So Sven wants a Shimano motor from Damien and Yeti. Oh, you're pumped up.
Ale Yannick! Smooth line. Oh, always traction.
Such a strong rider, Edgar Caballo. Now, as you see, that he's on the Bosch CX Race Limited Edition motor.
And powerful rider as well.
The size of his legs. Wow. So, Alex?
If you need some riders, I just need some so you can...
Look at the technique again. Brian Gilchrist is your actual leader in the GC. We heard his Max's tire. Come on the rock.
So we talked about tire pressure, didn't we? It felt to me like he had a lower tire pressure in that bike. Leading at the moment, clean that, no dabs. I think that'll be good. Damien, gotta be happy.
I am happy when I see that right there.
He's up again. Ale Pombo restarts. Wow. There we go.
Allez, Mick. Allez, Mick. Allez, Mick. Go, Mick. Oh. Oh, it's painful.
On Pigeon.
Tiago Lodiera.
Allez, Tiago.
Wow. Now that is how you ride that section.
100%.
Tiago Lodiera on the KTM and Miranda team. Wow. Best so far.
Composed.
That's a man who knows the art of climbing, isn't it?
You know why? He's been on an e-bike for longer than anyone else.
Yeah, and do you know what? I think it shows as well, right?
100%.
Wow! Wow! I mean, the man must have been trained by Nico Vulio's the master, right?
Now we got Luis Paulin. EWS champion. Allez, Luis! Allez, Luis! Yeah, she's on it! She's on it!
Once you get things wrong, it accumulates, doesn't it? It's like...
Unless you use that technique.
Nice!
Perfetto. Very light gear as well, and she was sitting on the tip of the saddle, so all the weight was in the front.
Allez, Alia! Allez, Alia! Okay, rider come in.
That was some drama. This could happen in power stages.
Okay, sounds like Flo Espinero just cleaned the section.
You can hear.
Oh my God!
Wow! She's on fire! Look at that!
Wow!
Look at that! Wow!
That was something special, right? Copybook climbing, wasn't it? Really?
Perfect.
That was. I mean, it shows why she is the reigning World Cup champion, right?
And you see, she puts a lot of time on her bike. You see the integration between rider and machine.
Wow, Enrico, that was pretty special. So much at play there. There was I think for me, some of the riders were definitely more composed than the other ones. Like once you built franticness into the equation, it kind of went pear-shaped, didn't it?
Even in such a stage, even if it's short, you need to be in the flow. You need to be in the right mindset and keep processing what you want on your bike to do in a given point.
Do you know what we've seen today? We've actually seen, like everyone talks about flow in downhill riding and stuff. What we saw there today, we saw some riders who were properly in the flow state, whereas others, it was a bit messy, wasn't it? They weren't making it together.
I really think one other thing you need to do to perform well, you need to spend time on your bike and on such a terrain.
I think we're still at the beginning of this fantastic sport of technical uphill riding, aren't we?
100%, and I think this is a very good gym for, power stages. It's in a good location. I mean, look where we are, and it's where we train actually.
Yeah, fantastic. Bring it on. Let's have more. Guys, let's know what you think of the power stage. Thanks, Enrico.
Thanks, John.